Hi everyone, my name is Reg Douglas and I'm the Artistic Director at Mosaic Theater. We are so excited to be presenting the world premiere production of Dear Mapel, created by this brilliant team. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Psalmayene 24, playwright and performer.
I'm Natsu Onoda Power. I'm the director, set designer.
Awesome, thank you for bringing your work to Mosaic. In your words, it's a hard question, what would you say Dear Mapel is about?
Oh man, it is about me transforming my demons into my guardian angels. And it's also, it reflects a moment, that moment when like you finally confront the bully who's been like bullying you your entire life, and you stand up and you say, no more. So that is what this play represents for me from a creative standpoint. But of course, it's these are letters to my father, who is deceased and who I was estranged from, and it's also sort of it's an exorcism. It's a theatrical exorcism that's meant to sort of purge me of these demons. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, but the theatrical exorcism is something I've never heard of or experienced before, which is a testament, I think, to your courage and your creative spirit, which is always pushing beyond what theater can do and what we think theater can be. Obviously a pioneer in hip-hop theater, an artist who's been on stage as an actor, a playwright, a director, now partnering with, I think, one of the ultimate auteurs of our field, and definitely in DC.
Yes.
So as an artistic director and as an audience member, it's an honor to see you both, yes, create new content with this world premiere, but also create new forms. And so I'm curious to hear from both of you how this play comes to life in 3D space, what audiences can expect this theatrical exorcism to feel like, to be like, a little bit about the design of the production.
Well, I think in this play, Psalm invites us to a really, really private space in his town, in his home, and in his heart, and in his brain, right? And one of the things that I like to tell whenever people ask about this how I came to work on this production was that when you called me and said, oh, I've been writing this play, it's about my father, it's the play that I've been wanting to write for a decade, and so I'm listening, and then when you said, well, would you consider directing it? That was such a great honor to me, and I feel that I feel it as a collaborator, and the audience should feel it as audience. You are telling them your deepest, most intimate secrets. So the space that we have created for the production is simultaneously Psalm's brain and his creativity and his home, and it's an island floating in the sea of memory. So it's a deck that is raised from the sea of crumpled paper that are simultaneously Psalm's letters to Mapel and drafts of Dear Mapel, of which there have been many.
Yes.
And also everything you've ever written. That's how I think of it, this space. Plus everything you have read that resonated with you, that made you the artist that you are. So it's an island floating in the sea of memory.
I think that is, I think, what we all agree theater can do. It can be a safe, brave incubator space for that kind of ambitious creation, the idea that theater can connect across time, across generations, and through design. And the magic, of your two creative brains, audiences do get to go into Psalm's brain. We get to float across memories with you. So as an audience member, I'm just kind of blown away and stand in awe of your creative genius and how you two work together.
You haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I know what's coming. I've seen some designs. I've seen designs. I mean, your reputations speak for yourselves, and as a friend and colleague, your hearts speak for themselves, and I know you're going to bring all of that to bear for us at the Atlas. I am curious, because it has gone through so much development, and you've been in the trenches together, as you walk into full 3D production finally, how does it feel?
Terrifying. It feels, I mean, because now it's like the words that were on the page now, I have to embody them. I have to commit them to memory, of course. So I've been like working furiously to do that, to lock these words in my mind and in my body. And I think that's going to do something else that will really make the experience a true ritual. You know, I said it's an exorcism, but it's also a seance, because Mapel is dead. So I would love for Mapel to respond at some performance. We don't know if that's possible or not. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that I'll get some sort of clear response from him. So we'll see.
I am curious to pick up on the theme of song. You know, I love music. I know you both love music. How did you know music would play such a vital role in this production? And can you talk us more a little bit about Jabari's work?
Yeah, well, I mean, music has played such an integral role in my own life, so that had to be a part of the story. And then after I shared the script with Natsu, she said, well, you know, I have some ideas about music, and she actually suggested that we have some of the music being performed live. I hadn't necessarily considered that. And then after she made that suggestion, that's when I thought about Jabari Exum, who's an artist who is brilliant, and he's, you know, part of the creative team of Black Panther, and I've known him since he was like a teenager. So we've sort of grown up together in a certain way, and he's just a brilliant artist. So I introduced him to Natsu, and then Natsu got a chance to witness his brilliance.
Yeah, I love Jabari. And I'm so glad, because I came up with that idea specifically for the virtual workshop, you know, so that was a way to integrate some sort of sense of liveness and spontaneity in an event that is essentially recorded and broadcast, right? And that was a way that we give the audience a little bit of the privilege of being in the room with us. Because if you integrate live music, you can't really do heavy editing. You just have to do it in one take. But we loved having Jabari so much that ever since then, we're like, okay, when we do the live version, he has to be in the production. So what was essentially a solo performance, which still is, because Jabari is in supporting roles, but Jabari became an integral part of that.
Yeah. I think something I've been fascinated with your work for a long time, Natsu was my professor, is the joy of aging each other. And then getting to know Psalm, who I call the king of DC, one of the leading artists of our national field, especially when it comes to hip-hop theater and theater that moves and has a message. You both are, I think, using theater as a means to connect. And as a result, it is wonderfully visceral, it's present, it's alive. And I'm intrigued by the role of video and projection to take that liveness even one step further. That they're having a live stream, is what I'm understanding from the design meeting reports, is we're having a live stream during the production. Can you talk a little bit about the role of video in the production that you're imagining and creating for us?
So it's not quite a live stream, it's a live feed.
Live feed. So I need some help with my vocab.
So I've been working with multimedia for a long time, and a few years ago I decided that I was not going to use pre-recorded footage in any of my work anymore. So all of the live projected content needed to be generated on stage by the actors. So I've been working with this idea for a little while. And the idea is that Psalm is writing letters and manipulating objects. And at one point there are little puppets of him that he's manipulating himself as he's telling a story of memory or looking at family photos. And the idea is that there are cameras that's capturing it live and projecting it onto paper that is on the I'm not going to say wall. What is it? It's a surface.
Yeah,
surface,
kind of like
floating surface
extends
of
into
paper.
the audience and everything.
Yeah.
So the idea is similar to what we were saying before. It's giving the audience access to parts of the stage that you wouldn't actually have access to. So the overhead camera is capturing Psalm's letter in Psalm's eye perspective, like bird's eye perspective, but it's close up, and what he's looking at is what the audience is going to be seeing. So it's this going with the generous spirit of Psalm's sharing. We're sharing some of the visual elements in the stage in ways that they wouldn't actually have access.
It just blows my mind a little bit. What has you most excited about Dear Mapel, and what do you hope audiences take from this production?
Wow.
I know.
Yeah. Finally getting it done. I mean, seeing it realized and seeing all of the elements come together, having just a great, brilliant team and doing it in my theatrical home with a brilliant artistic director. I mean, that's what excites me the most, and being able to finally share the story and see how it's gonna resonate with people, and see how people are gonna be able to use this experience to heal parts of themselves.
Well, thank you for welcoming us into your living room with Dear Mapel, into your heart, into your heads, into your brilliant mind. This is such an honor for me to have this be one of the first shows I get to be a part of making at Mosaic. To produce the world premiere of a play by two outstanding artists who lead with such skill and such heart in tandem it's a dream. So thank you both. We'll see you at the theater.
Thank you.
Thank you.